it through cold storage. Nothing stopping you from taking the archive now, except a...
Liquidate him!
Let me know when you need an express. What if I go unseen? Walking this off. Stand me back up.
Raring to go. Someone call for a medic.
How about some ground cover?
Big regret this coming here.
Let me handle this.
I'm at.
Talk is peddle your wares elsewhere.
Knock off the funny business. You're back. Find them supplies yet? merciful law. I reckon the troops will be glad to hear it. Just hand that over and I'll sign off on your pay. You didn't run into any issues? Oh yeah, forgot about those. Sometimes the old human noggin does strange things. Must be on account of my feet hurting so mightily without them shoe cushions. Yes, but they're really good padded inserts. Of course, no need for more fuss and bout. One standard fee as agreed.
can't say I'm thrilled to see all these Westport Protectorate folks playing house.
Those new Protectorate folk here from Westport, I really respect them.
Enjoy your time in Fairfield.
Ah, Inez, have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those... Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me if you reckon my arm can handle a stitch.
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod? My, I haven't seen one of those in many years. Oh, and a mantis.
Yeah, you could say it. Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really. Hive it is. Just refrain from any buzzing jokes.
Oh, the mantis swarm is a wonderful choice. Hold still. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future. But, by the by, where did you find... What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know. Whatever do you mean? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct...
It was off the books, Doc. We found a grafting lab way out on Cloister, still operational. Law. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they... The doctor there, he killed a...
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive. We spoke briefly, and I allowed him to live. On the condition that he redeems himself and uses his research for good.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's...
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence at... I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery. His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very... He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something...
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? If there's good to be had from the program, then Willard needs to invest in that good.
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But... I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card. Inez, what you are doing is noble.
Thank you, Doc. Now, you get those grafting... Commander, I've been thinking. We got the intel we need, Commander. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well, I've been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and I know you never liked dealing with Auntie's Choice. Seems you're right not to. But Auntie's Choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to go, if they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Command. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, maybe this is what I was meant to do.
remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we
Remember
worship
what we discussed and act equitably.
while the protectorate decides what is a whole yet respond to through your decision as consumed.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days and already... You want the role, it's yours. But I'm not budging on the...
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight.
Seriously? You're playing the long con here and now?
Wonderful. Remind me of your qualifications. I send queries out to every scientist and science-adjacent employee in our Rolodex. I can't be expected to remember everyone. You lied to me, bold-faced, and now expect me to...
Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end, but after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress.
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me? You certainly came to the negotiate, but there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Tau Ceti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch from... I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge. Fought off countless protectorate besides.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But we can only pursue such a thing if we secure... But I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment. As such, you...
You say that as though you have...
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force. To rally the... He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess will give us the leverage we need. I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with camera drones to meet you there and...
Hold on. You didn't say anything about...
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So...
That reporter's gotta be nearby. Ain't keen to jump to conclusions?
I'm Orland Crawford, the outsourced but never outmatched wartime correspondent for the ACS Undisputed Claim.
The name's Inez, and yes, we'll...
Now, let's not skip on introductions. Who is this you have with you?
And not bound to self-aware...
The soldier and her conniving
Never seen a grafted trooper in action before, but I'm looking forward to watching you work. Their defenses are too great to face head-on, so you'll want to sneak in through the back entrance.
My camera drones will be filming the action from above, so do put on a good show. Blow up a few things, and use Inez's abilities to demonstrate the might of Auntie's choice. Yes?
They've detained several of our scouts. I'd like to see them returned. If you deliver this weapons cache to them and free them, they might offer some aid in the fight.
This is quite the opportunity. Normally, a POW might be written off as shrinkage, an unfortunate, unavoidable loss. But their rescue will be...
So what? If I hadn't come along, you all would have...
Our motto is to leave no man behind, unless it breaches our contract and promises financial penalties, which this does.
Once you infiltrate the blockade, neutralize our foes, and open the gates, our remaining troops will move in to secure the blockade for ourselves. Any questions? The drilling crew near the chemical plant is working to punch a path through the mountains. You could use such a path, but for some reason...
Or you could go through the Automech production facility north of here. But that's where the scout who brought us the codes lost his life.
Though I trust you may fare better than that poor sod did, I do look forward to seeing you take the fight to the Ooh, and spare some time for me after you emerge victorious, won't you? What am I saying?
Here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up.
Damn. Of course they have. Standing by to simplify.
course they got a bunker mech. We need to take it by surprise. With her. Alert the other troopers, mind.
Not quite charged yet.
Free energy you can leave.
Back in business.
The Protectorate endures. You're looking pretty sneaky, Commander. Happy to help. Thank you. Sight unseen. Through his beneficent
Medkit, coming your way!
Commander, throwing energy.
Another ass kicking for the history book. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
Over here! Let us out!
Ain't no way to leave us here. We still got 43 months of boot camp loans to pay off. Go consume, like a good consumer.
Hey! Aren't you gonna help us out?
have a word with the hero of the moment for the wireless.
You aren't looking for these guys, are you? Come on, open up!
Well, the blockade is ours now, but the way in which you captured it lacked a certain finesse, shall we say. Not sure my drone's footage will show what we were looking for.
That hasn't stopped you lot from spinning a story before. You said something about an interview earlier. Well, I'll answer your questions. You'll make me look good in return?
It's audio only, Trooper. And you're working with a true professional now. Let me work, huh? Relax. Be authentically you, though you'd be wise to throw in a tagline or two. Ready?
Well,
Great! Recording's already begun. I'm here, live at the scene with the fearsome grafted soldier Inez. Your destruction of those dastardly Protectorate troops was awe-inspiring. You must feel like the
I'm just, doing my part. I joined up because I believed in our mission, to liberate Arcadia. Reckon my actions illustrate that more than anything I could ever say. Suppose I do know a thing or two about a pep talk. Given many in my time to troopers.
How wonderful! I hadn't realized Inez here had initiated a recruitment campaign. Dear audience, the voice you just heard is that of the soldier's close associate, an eyewitness to the battle and the marvelous carnage littering the... You also paved the way for us to free some of our troopers from the Protectorate's fiendish grasp. One can only imagine the torture...
Look, I did what anyone with an ounce of sense would do. Ain't gonna leave one of my own in such a state. And if I had it my way, I would have acted sooner.
Hold a moment. You can't go saying things like that. Our platoons have a reputation.
Why? It's the truth. You heard your own commander say he was in no rush to help them. All due to some red tape? It's...
In any case, those soldiers can finally return to their postings again. Now, I have a question.
These graphs make me stronger. Good in a bind. I know I'm a bit of a curiosity. Ain't too many of us left. But there is so much good we can do with grafting, if we try. I got a plan, see? To start the grafting program up again. The research is promising, and with the right backing, it could be a product that can better the lives of everyone.
A fascinating idea. I think we'd all sleep soundly if we knew more of you were running amok on our behalf. Before we wrap, have you anything else of note to tell our undoubtedly enraptured audience?
Oh, I got one. Ain't just a tested and true product that'll put you over the top. A graft like mine might also get you into orbit.
Ah, I see. A bit of cheeky product placement for Zero G whiskey. Very well done, you. And that's a wrap. You can go back to slouching or sneering or whatever else it is you do. Astonishingly well. Rest assured, our listeners will be glued to their radios for all the lurid details.
Well, that's a damn sight better than I was anticipating. Willard will have to make good on our deal now. Let's...
You do that, and I will remain here, burdened by the drudgery of war.
Hitteglaw, I thought we'd be trapped in here forever.
And this month's winner of Auntie's Jingle Contest TM is Factory Technician Third Class Dini Thirunadu Karasar, who submitted the following audio recording.
I love Auntie, yes I do. Her hair looks real, like a real hairdo. I love Auntie, so do you. Like my baby, covered in goo.
Ah, so the conquering heroes have... The footage I received tells the story it needs to, but I am rather disappointed by the absence of Oh, where are my manners? Commander, Inez, meet our new benefactor. This is the business partner I spoke to you about, and she has graciously agreed to fund our...
Yes, we've met. Now, let's not get overly ahead of ourselves. Putting on a show is 40% of the...
Well, I'd say these two certainly made our correspondence job easier. Only Auntie herself could have done a finer job at providing sound bites.
Let's try not to exaggerate. It was a fine showing. Now, with her as the face of the brand, we might really have something.
Look, I know I ain't exactly the profile of a business partner, but I know medicine, and I know the potential of grafts more than anyone. You'll not find my experience anywhere.
Perhaps so, but unfortunately I can't be expected to simply take your word for it. You know how it is. Low-level workers have a certain flair for lying and grifting, whilst concurrently exaggerating all accomplishments and ills.
But we can trust your word as her current supervisor. What sort of performance review might you give this associate?
Well, it's easy to go on soldiering when you trust the one giving the orders.
Well, that's a reasonable endorsement. Wouldn't fit in the one-line write-in space for her quarterly appraisal, but I suppose...
So we have a deal then? I admit that the raid and the interview may not have gone as swimmingly as I would have liked, but there is some...
Suppose I can make good on the funding after all. We'll see in time where this arrangement leaves us.
So that's it. We're clear to restart the grafting program.
Of course not. Unless said folk agree to it. Yes, we are at an agreement. Consider this a bonus for your efforts. When the time is right, I will reach out to you for further planning. You have been instrumental, soldier. Inez, well done indeed.
I'll settle for a moment of rest, Commander. Have time for a chat, Commander? Willard, Vice President Conan, sent me a message just now about how the investment, and they all agreed to fund the grafting program and start it up again in... They even thought to bring me into middle management for the program. Can you believe it? After you and I finish what we set out to do for Arcadia, of course. I'm realizing now that I never really imagined something like this was possible. Never thought I'd be at the forefront of a military campaign. Never thought I'd be able to change much about Auntie's choice, let alone that I'd want to. But here I am. Reckon you could say I proved myself after all. Thank you, Commander. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my...
Commander, I have news. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from... I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications.
With the Consul now in charge, harsher restrictions are likely to be implemented across Arcadia. Avoiding Protectorate capture, interrogation, and/or disembowelment is advised. Awaiting order.
How may this unit assist you, Commander?
Whether it's an orifice or a face, Andy's choice may
This whole capitalism isn't so dreadful after all. They even allowed me a choice between fishing and sanitary engine.
Hello. You must be a new,
Here to do some fishing?
co-worker. No. My mistake. You're obviously just passing through. Hello. You must be a new, co-worker.
This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
Error. Kurt, how may this unit assist?
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I ought to be charted for information.
Silence and turn. I hope we aren't too late. Virgil's he's like to be in the training grounds, Deaths. There's a lift that will take us lower. Located behind the door next to those stairs.
Tristan! It was a meet to see his friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something...
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die. Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall...
Hold! You were beginning to say something before we were at...
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Of our beneficent ruler. Help you with something.
I shall not stay your execution.
Help you with something?
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Consul is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment.
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due... The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what
No.
I had to. I knew that if you learned...
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission...
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me?
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. How dare you? I would have rather done anything else. But the explicit reason that I had to act was out of... The Supreme Arbiter did more than mentor us. She all but raised us as her own. There was not a... And I killed her. As a traitor. Damn you. Damn you 1,000 times. How can I not, no matter what I do? I find myself reliving that moment whenever I close my eyes. Her sin was unforgivable to the Protectorate. But... No. The situation was a nightmare. I only wonder if the path I took...
I cannot believe what I am hearing. You know that I have to judge you. There's no other choice available to me. I could see how you would say that. Virgil's actions were... madness. But do I not understand his uncertainty? Have I not faced the same? I find myself torn. Though I still believe wholeheartedly in Protectorate law, you and I have certainly You taught me to judge based on merits. Together we spared some and executed others. Virgil is my sworn brother, and he acted under duress. But killing the Supreme Arbiter is unforgivable. Yes, but it is beyond the jurisdiction of even those such as us to mete out such a judgment.
And how would the Consul have reacted to an official accusation of treason?
But the Supreme Arbiter herself taught us exactly that.
People change when faced with their own death. I would expect you'd learned that by now.
No. No. What we have discussed has emphatically not convinced me. I cannot reject what I have been taught. Virgil must be punished. Arbiter Virgil Montag, I accuse you of the murder of the Supreme Arbiter and of conspiracy against the Protectorate. I find you guilty of all counts. Prepare for absolution.
This won't bring you peace, my sworn brother. The thought of standing against you fills me with 1,000
You dare speak of honor after admitting your own absent faith in the Protectorate? You... Justice is served. I did what had to be done. I did. Yes, mostly. I never expect... I need some time to myself. To think